Would you say the people have not taken the election seriously yet?
I think this kind of boring campaign is a perfect setting.
Does it look like the people have a favorite among the candidates?
I don't have a clue. It's not my role to have a clue. It's not important what the people take in the ballot.
Well, we're less than a month away from Sri Lanka's elections, the elections that people are looking forward to, I would say. And we have the observers in Sri Lanka looking out for the people who are voting for the elections, for the candidates who are participating in the elections, and pretty much the entire country that is leading up to a big election in the country, the presidential election that will decide the next 5 years of the country. And the EU observers, the European Union observers are in Sri Lanka. This is the chief observer, Nacho, Sánchez, Amor. Thank you for joining us on this show.
My pleasure.
Well, my first question to you is, y'all are here way ahead of the election, I would say. And does it feel like election season in Sri Lanka?
We are always ahead of the elections, because elections and election observation is not only about the day of voting. It's about the whole process, from the registering of the voter, the registering of the candidates, the finance of the campaign, and for that reason we have to, if we want to do a real observation, we have to be in the country as we do normally 1 month and a half before. In this occasion, the elections were announced a little bit late, and for that reason we immediately prepared things to be here. But this is the normal setting, to be in the country as much time as possible.
And how would you say the people are reacting to the elections? Is it calm compared to the previous years?
It is a very pleasant news that at the core of the campaign are not the most divisive items, ethnic or religious or identity. This is good. I think this kind of boring campaign about economy, welfare, the situation of the finance of the country is a perfect setting for having a good choice on behalf of the people. Of course, we never enter in any kind of preference, or we are only observing, not interfering, and this is our role. We are having, and we have a very complete setting of meetings to try to have the most complete picture of the process, and then later, after the election, not before, we are coming out with our preliminary findings.
Of course, only observing and not interfering. Well, would you say the people being calm and, attending the usual rallies ongoing and, not much of election violence yet in the country, would you say the people have not taken the election seriously yet from what you have observed, or?
Well, first, it's early. We have deploy our long-term observer to the 9 provinces of the country. They are sending reports to us on a daily or a weekly basis, and we are having a more complete picture about other rallies with large crowds or not, or what is the profile of the campaign in the different parts of the country. Then it's early to have a complete picture of what is the mood of the campaign, but it's excellent news not having any kind of violence. A minor incident has been reported, but this is the setting. This is for the people not considered important. No, I don't know. In mature democracies, and you have a long history of elections happen in a very calm and apparently boring environment. This is excellent, but in any way it doesn't mean that there are no interest. No, the interest is going to be assessed after the vote with the turnout.
And y'all are here until the elections are over, or what is the EU's input into Sri Lanka's election? If you can quickly brief the people about it.
We are being in the country. The observers are going to be in the provinces till October, first days of first week of October. The core team in Colombo is going to be the same. I'm coming back for the election, for the week of the election, and coming back 2 months later after the election to deliver to the authorities the report and the recommendations.
And what are the authorities going to do with this report that you will hand over to them?
The kind of recommendations that we address to the country, there could be involved many institutions. If we ask for some legal changes, of course, it's the Parliament. We can for some more technical changes. It could be the Election Commission, it could be the parties, it could be the candidates, it could be the judiciary. Meaning, we are. For sure, we don't have the recommendations, but the recommendations normally are addressed to any authority who has the capability to implement.
And Mr. Nacho, my final question to you. I am not sure if I could ask you this, but since you all have gone out to the people, spoken to the people, I know it's not too long, but you all have spoken to the people. Does it look like the people have a favorite among the candidates?
I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue, and it's not my role to have a clue. I'm following the news, of course. But listen, for election observer, it's not important what the people take in the ballot, but to be sure that the will of the people has been produced and taken after a very fair campaign. This is the thing. But really, even personally, I don't have a clue, and even officially, it's not an issue for us. We have to take care of the process, not the result. But I'm happy to know that historically, the transition of power always has been very peaceful.
Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of Crossbow. It was a pleasure to have you with us and explain to the people what the observers do and what they do when they're on the lookout for the elections. Thank you very much for joining us.